Ah, so they think pain breaks people, huh? They think betrayal, abuse, rejection, all those twisted little tragedies were meant to bury you. But here's the punchline: it didn't. It forged you. Every scar, every lie, every night you screamed into silence, it's all part of your legend now. You see, your story isn't a tragedy anymore. It's a weapon. And when the world finally hears what was done to you, oh, they won't just remember your name. They'll worship it. Because your story, my friend, will make you famous. Pain, the one guest no one invites, yet everyone meets. It comes unannounced, tearing through your peace, your plans, your innocence. Most people run from it, numb it, or curse it, but not you. You faced it. You let it carve its lessons into your soul until you realized it wasn't your enemy. It was your rebirth. Every heartbreak, every betrayal, every dark night molded you, tested you, refined you into something the soft ones could never become. You see, pain doesn't just hurt. It teaches. It strips away illusions, revealing who you really are when there's nothing left to hide behind. It's in the chaos that you found your discipline, in the silence that you met your truth, in the tears that you discovered your purpose. The world tried to destroy you, but pain turned the attempt into training, sharpening your mind, hardening your heart, and awakening your spirit. And that's the irony, isn't it? The same suffering they used to break you only made you unstoppable. You're no longer afraid of losing because you've already lost what mattered most and survived. You're no longer afraid of rejection because you've already lived through worse. Pain didn't defeat you. It introduced you to your power. Now, when they look at you, they see calm, not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. Every wound you carry has become armor, every memory a reminder that nothing outside of you can control what burns within. Pain was the storm, yes, but it was also the forge. And from that fire, you didn't just walk out alive. You walked out unbreakable. Scars, people hide them, cover them, pretend they don't exist. But you wear them differently. They're not marks of shame. They're medals of survival. Every scar tells a story of a battle fought, a night endured, a storm weathered. They remind you that while others folded under pressure, you endured. You didn't crumble. You adapted, evolved, and rose again, fiercer than before. Those scars whisper the truth the world tries to forget. You've been through things most wouldn't survive. And yet, here you are, still standing, still breathing, still daring to dream. The pain that once made you cry now makes you proud, because each wound that healed became proof that healing was possible. Your body, your mind, your soul, they're all living testimonies of resilience. You see, scars don't just show where you've been hurt. They show where you've healed. They're not signs of weakness. They're evidence of your victory over chaos. The world may only see the surface, but you know what it cost to get here. The nights you stayed silent, the tears no one saw, the strength you built in secret. So don't hide them. Let them speak. Let them tell the story of someone who refused to stay broken. Because one day, someone will see your scars and find hope in them. They'll realize pain doesn't have to end you. It can remake you. Your scars aren't ugly reminders of what hurt you. They're beautiful symbols of everything you've overcome. And when you finally understand that, you'll stop wishing they'd disappear, because those scars are the signature of your survival. Tragedy, It's the fire that either burns you alive or forges you into something divine. What happened to you wasn't fair. It wasn't deserved. But here's the twist. That very darkness became the ink that writes your legend. Every betrayal, every loss, every moment you thought you couldn't go on, it all shaped a story that will echo far beyond your pain. Because the world doesn't remember comfort, it remembers transformation. You see, the ones who inspire us most are never the ones who had it easy. They're the ones who fell apart and still stood back up, who faced the impossible and said, "Watch me." That's you. Your tragedy is not your tombstone. It's your origin story. It's the foundation of your legacy. The moment everything started to change. What was once your breaking point will soon be your turning point. And the world will one day call it your rise. They'll hear your story and feel something shift inside them. They'll see that greatness doesn't come from luck. It's born from surviving what others couldn't. That's what makes your pain powerful. It's not the end. It's the beginning. Your scars, your struggle, your survival, they're not the evidence of defeat. They're the proof of destiny. So let them talk about what was done to you. Let them whisper about the chaos that tried to consume you. Because soon they'll realize that chaos created a legend. You turn tragedy into triumph, heartbreak into history, and pain into purpose. The story that once haunted you will one day define you. And that, my friend, is how legacies are born. They wanted your silence. That was their mistake. They thought if they broke you enough times, you'd stop speaking, stop believing, stop existing. But instead, your silence became your preparation. You weren't defeated. You were loading. Every quiet moment, every tear you swallowed, every scream you buried became power, waiting for the right moment to erupt. And when you finally spoke, your words didn't just cut. They pierced. They carried truth sharp enough to shatter illusions. You see, people fear the ones they tried to erase but couldn't. You were never meant to fit in their small world. You were meant to expose it. Your voice, once trembling, now shakes the walls they built to contain you. That's what happens when someone survives too much. They stop asking for permission to exist. You no longer need validation, applause, or pity. You are the message. They tried to silence you because your story holds power. Power to awaken others, to reveal what they've buried, to inspire what they've lost. The truth you carry makes liars tremble because it unmasks their sickness. And the best part, you don't even have to scream anymore. Your presence speaks louder than their noise. You are living proof that being silenced doesn't mean being powerless. Every word you now speak carries the weight of everything you've endured. And that's why it hits differently. You don't speak for revenge. You speak for freedom. And the ones who once laughed at your pain will one day listen in awe, realizing the voice they tried to destroy became the echo that refuses to die. They wanted you to wear the label, victim. They wanted your identity to be tied to what they did, not who you are. But you flipped the script. You refused to let their cruelty become your character. You see, there's a rare kind of power in saying, "Yes, it happened, but it doesn't define me." You took what was meant to trap you and turned it into fuel. You stopped being the one who suffered and became the one who rose. Being a victim means staying in their story. But you walked out of it and started writing your own. You stopped waiting for apologies, stopped expecting closure, stopped seeking validation from the same hands that caused your pain. That's when the transformation began. The shift from wounded to warrior. You realized healing wasn't about forgetting, it was about reclaiming. And that's the difference between the broken and the reborn. One remains where it ended, the other builds something new from the ashes. You no longer carry your pain as a burden, you wear it as a crown. The very moments they used to weaken you now serve as proof that you can't be controlled, manipulated, or defined by anyone else's narrative. So when they whisper about your past, let them. You've outgrown the chapter they're stuck in. You've redefined what it means to survive, not by pretending it never happened, but by proving it can't stop you. You are no longer the victim of your story. You are the author of it. And the plot twist? The victim they tried to erase became the hero the world will remember. Fame, not the kind that flashes on screens, but the kind that burns into people's minds forever. That's the kind your story will bring. Because when the world finally learns what you've endured, they won't see weakness. They'll see resilience. They'll see someone who faced the ugliest parts of humanity and still chose to stand, still chose to shine. You didn't just survive, you transformed. You turned their sickness into your strength, their cruelty into your calling. That's the power of your story. It doesn't beg for sympathy. It demands respect. It forces people to look at themselves, to question the monsters they feed, and to wonder how you came out cleaner than the hands that hurt you. You became living proof that pain can't destroy what's already destined to rise. The fame coming your way isn't about followers or applause. It's about impact. Your story will travel, inspire, awaken, and unsettle. It will make people believe in survival again. Because your scars don't just tell a story, they start one. Every time you speak, every time you stand tall, someone out there finds the courage to keep going. And that's why your name will echo long after the noise fades. You turned your suffering into art, your pain into purpose, your silence into a statement. You're no longer haunted by what was done to you. You've weaponized it. What once tried to end, you will now make you unforgettable. Because your story, born from chaos, will make you famous. Not for what happened to you, but for who you became because of it.